What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about 3 types of prospects you will run into as your appointment setting. Now, I can't really speak for sales because it's going to be slightly different, but the principles remain the same. It's recording. Good. Let's get straight into it. So the 3 people you're going to come across when your appointment setting is the classic cold, warm, and hot leads. And let me show how you might come across each of them, and then what to do to get them to book a call, because it's not the easiest thing in the world to, especially if it's a cold prospect, it's not the easiest thing to try and convert them from someone who's never met you before, probably has never come across your content, all the way to trusting you enough to book a call in, because there has to be a level of trust involved. Obviously, if they're going to hop on a call, if you're going to dedicate some time of their day away, then they have to trust you in some way. So the cold prospects, you're probably going to get them from cold outreach. From if you're running ads, you're going to run into some cold people, and generally these people, it's obvious they don't know who you are, or maybe they've come across you recently for the first time. They don't know who you are. But yeah, second people are the warm leads. So maybe you can actually get them from cold outreach and ads as well, but the difference here is they've come across more of your content and they've warmed up to you, hence the name warm leads. Via proximity, which is essentially, all it means is spending more time close to you, to your profile and content. And then the last thing is hot leads. These guys are the ones you want. We all want hot leads. And then usually they'll come in like inbound. These guys will come in. Sometimes you'll get warm leads who are inbound as well, but just need some warming up in the inbox. So inbound, you can call them out through, or you can call for them. You can get them to, reach out through things like CTAs, polls, direct response, getting them to take action. And maybe they've been warmed up to you immensely, been following you for years. Like I know people who have been following me for years, and some of them have actually turned into either clients or people who have hopped on sales calls. Now, if you're an appointment setter, then obviously we all want hot leads. Like in a dream world, all we're going to be dealing with are hot leads, people coming to us, handing over their credit card and being ready to pay, or being ready to jump on a call and make some sort of action. Now, that's in the dream world. If you're starting out, and it depends on the offer, depends on a lot of things, but you're not always going to get these type of people. So let me just show you how to move them across down this like conveyor belt. So there are 3 stages to a conversation, and I've already mentioned this millions of times. Opening, gathering leverage / building rapport, although you should really although building rapport is really just throughout the whole conversation. Building rapport, gaining leverage. And all gaining leverage is just progressing the conversation, finding reasons for them to hop on a call with you. And then the last thing is the pitch. So when it comes to these 3 things, let's start with the cold prospect. Let's start with the cold prospect. If this wants to cooperate, which it doesn't want to cooperate, well, that's fine. How about now? Cool. Okay. When it comes to people coming in cold, what you need to do, where you need to spend the most time is in the first third, or the first half, which is basically the opening and building rapport, gaining leverage. Because the key here with cold prospects is you want to open them up. Obviously, they've never met you before, so why the hell would they trust you? So a great way to move them on down the conveyor belt into a slightly warmer lead who trusts you a bit more is things like humor, cracking jokes, well, that's the same thing as humor. Humor, building rapport through things like finding commonalities, sticking to non-business talk in the beginning. Yeah, so as I was saying, 3 ways to get them to move faster down the line, on the conveyor belt, is humor, finding commonalities, and sticking to non-business conversation at first. Building a connection is basically what I'm trying to say here. And yes, this can also go for warm or hot leads, but let me show you how to approach with those ones as well. So sticking to non-business convo first, because here you're just trying to, the key here is getting them to open up, getting them to light up a bit. Now you can't tell because it's not a real in-person conversation, so you can't really tell. The problem with setting, it's not really a problem, but one of the nuances with setting and what makes it so special is there's no, unlike sales, on a sales call in Zoom, you can see the other person, you can see their body language. Well, here you can't. And there's no tonality either, unless you use voice notes. Speaking of voice notes are a great way to build rapport. I've been trying these out lately and they've been really good. So back to what I was saying, the special thing about appointment setting is there's no body language, there's no tonality, there's none of that. It's just text and emojis and voice notes, which you can use to get around that. But for the most part, you're going to have to, the thing with setting is you have to be more careful or more selective with how you type certain things. So this is how you break them from cold to warm. Now, with the warm leads, they've been following you for a while. They've been following you for a little bit. They know who you are, they like you, they trust you, but they're not quite hot yet. So the way you deal with these people is you spend less time here because you've already built that up front through your content and just them following you for ages. And you spend more time building rapport, gaining leverage, so figuring out what their current situation is. Because chances are sometimes you will be talking to, with warm leads, sometimes there'll be people they've been following you for a while, yes, but you haven't really had a conversation. So now's the time to really break in that conversation, build more of a relationship, more rapport, but most importantly, figuring out their current situation. Asking good questions. Asking questions about where they are, what they're doing at the moment, what they're trying out, are they happy with where they are? Just your typical appointment setting questions to move the conversation forward. Obviously, you can take all the stuff here, and I highly advise you do. You take all the stuff here, you build more and more rapport, or you maintain rapport, because rapport is just going to be a pivotal part. It's going to be an elemental part of the whole game of appointment setting, rapport building, just like with sales. Here you can spend the most time on figuring out the current situation, asking good questions that move the conversation forward. I say move the conversation forward because you're not just going to be asking any and other questions. You're not going to be asking about their pet gerbil. You're going to be asking questions that move them one step closer, inch by inch, towards them booking on a call. And again, we talked about leverage, and gaining leverage is getting stuff out of them, or drawing stuff out from the convo that makes it make sense to book a call in. So if they've been struggling with the exact pain points that you solve them with, then the type of questions you ask is going to determine how well or how poorly you advance the conversation and how much of that pain you can draw out of them, if that makes sense. And then the last thing, and if you're confused, again, feel free to comment on this video and just leave any questions you might have, because sometimes I don't know to articulate things the best, but I hope this makes sense. So with the hot leads now, this is what we want. With the hot leads, you don't need to spend time, you don't really need to spend much time on this stuff, because they're hot leads. They've gone past that stage. They really, really trust you and they're ready to go. In this case, you just want to be direct and get them to hop on a call. If they're ready to go, if they're ready to take action, then match that energy. That's a key part of appointment setting as well, is matching their energy. You have to kind of read where they're at in terms of this conveyor belt, And obviously that's going to come with experience, but you can probably tell after doing a couple convos, where is this person at? Are they ready to take action? Have they said they're ready to take action? Do I get that vibe? Or do I need to ask a bit more questions, figuring out the current situation? Because if I pitch here, now they're probably going to leave me on red because I haven't built enough rapport with them. What do I do? So that's what you need to be thinking about. Read the room, figure out where are they in the conversation. So here you just have to be direct. It's better to pitch, and this goes for, again, it goes for all of this stuff. It goes for the cold leads and the hot and the warm leads. But it's better to pitch sooner than you think than later. Because no one want people's time is valuable. They don't want to waste time talking to one person because they got other things to do. So you're better off just presenting the opportunity to hop on a call. Just be like, look, I'll be straight up with you. I think we can really help you out, and this is why, X, Y, Z reason. Let's talk about it this week. Are you down for that? That's an example of how to pitch. So you're better off pitching sooner than later, and they're going to respect it too, because you're not shying away from your own service that you're appointment setting for, and you're also saving them time. So you're better off pitching sooner than later. And I'll say just those two things, man. Yeah. Be direct, be better to pitch sooner than later. Now, as I said, these are the type of leads that we want, and in your mind you might be thinking these are the easiest leads to get on a call, and that's true to a certain extent. The only mistake that you don't want to make, which could actually turn them off, is drawing out the conversation. Again, as I said, you want to read the room. So if they're ready to go, you don't delay that. You match your energy and say, okay, if you're ready to go, we're ready to go. Let's hop on a call. Do not draw out the conversation. Because I see a lot of these setters, right? They have the script in front of them and they're trying to copy it. They're trying to copy and paste the questions as best they can. They're trying to follow the script to a T, and it just ends up backfiring on them because now they just sound like a freaking robot. Don't draw out the conversation, guys. If you know they're ready to go, then just get them on a call. So I hope this helps. Remember, we have cold, warm, and hot leads. We're aiming for more hot leads, so that's going to be through your content. That's why I'm a big advocate for content, and that's exactly why I made this YouTube video. Not this YouTube video, this YouTube channel. Like, it really helps with that. And then there's 3 parts to a conversation: the opening, the building rapport / getting leverage, and pitching. And this is what you need to do. Pause the video right now if you want to screenshot this. But yeah, that's how you deal with the 3 types of leads that you're going to be getting through conversation, through appointment setting. So hopefully this helps you book more conversation, book more calls. Hopefully this gets you better at appointment setting. Hopefully you get paid more and you get more qualified leads through the door. So that's gonna be it for today from me. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.